Hello and welcome everybody to this second episode of Azure Synapse Espresso. I'm joined again by Filip Popovic, and today we will be talking about CSV and Parquet and what the difference is in between those two when using Serverless SQL Pools. Now, imagine you have a CSV file with the same data, you have a Parquet file with the same data. I basically want to ask you, Filip, the question. If you have those two types of files, which file would you prefer to work with Serverless SQL Pools and why?
I would definitely always go with the Parquet, because even if the data sets are the same in CSV and the Parquet, Parquet 1 will always be way smaller because it's compressed. So we read less data, meaning queries are faster, and you pay less for the queries. And it's not only about that, it's also that Parquet's columnar format, meaning that we can read only a subset of columns that we are interested in. While if we are reading CSV file, and if we are interested in only just one column, we need to read the whole file, read the whole rows, parse all rows, parse columns, only to extract a single column. So way more I/O and slower performance. But I would definitely go with the Parquet, but don't worry if you're stuck with the CSV, we can show you how you can improve performance in some other video.
Okay, great. So just to get things straight, CSV, we always need to read everything. Parquet, we can just read parts of it because Parquet is more an intelligent data type, which has file type, sorry, not data type, where we have metadata and we can skip certain parts. And it's also columnar compressed, which basically gives you less I/O. Less I/O means better performance. Okay, so we just want to show you also what the difference is between reading two of the same files and the amount of data that you read and the amount of performance you get out of those two with Serverless SQL Pools. So let's head over to our screen and our laptop over here. So as you can see here, I've got two queries prepared for you. So one is going to read over here the Parquet files. It's going to do a count and a little bit more complex query. And then we've got this specific script here, which is going to do the same thing on a CSV file. Now, I've already executed those two queries, and you can see here that for these statements over here, if we zoom in a little bit, the total size of data scanned is always the full file. The file is 771 megabytes big, so every time we touch upon that file and we need to go and query that file, we're going to read that full file, as you can see here. Now, if we go to that Parquet file where we do exactly the same queries, you can see that the first one, the count, it just reads 1 megabyte because it's just scanning that first bit of metadata. Actually, it's the end bit, but we'll talk a bit later about that in a future video. But the end bit, the metadata has been read, and it tells me how many files, how many rows are in this file. Then the next thing is the more complex query. It's only using the small bits that we're specifying. We don't have to read the full file. We can only read a few of the columns, and we can basically push down those predicates through those row groups and get our result for only 12 megabytes instead of reading the 700 megabytes CSV file. So costing wise, this is a lot cheaper. And also if we look at execution time, total execution time for this one was 2 seconds. The total execution time for this one was around 7 seconds. Not bad. If you're going to do that on any other system, you're reading a full CSV file, it will take longer, but Serverless SQL Pool can also handle that, and that's due to some other stuff we'll talk about in later stages, later videos, like CSV Parser 2.0 you see over here. Anything else to add, Filip?
Well, yeah, if I had the opportunity to choose between CSV and Parquet, or maybe convert my CSVs to Parquet, I would definitely go with Parquet for optimal performance and reduced costs. Again, if you are stuck with CSV, that's fine as well. In some of the following videos, we will show how you can improve performance while working with CSV as well. If you like the content, if you like this topic, please like, subscribe, and comment, and stick with us in the following session. Bye.
Bye.